Hi everyone, it's Monday Moments with Sarah. Tonight we're going to go over a little bit about the emergency backpack and what should be in it and some of the emergency postings and procedures that we need to be aware of. Unfortunately, emergencies sometimes happen, and I feel like sometimes the best way to kind of prevent them from happening is to be prepared, because then hopefully it will be less of an emergency. So first off, each classroom needs to have an emergency backpack. Most of these are a bright green color, so they're easy to find. And we really want them to be up and out of reach of children. I see them all the time where they come into the classroom and we're coming in, we're trying to get the kids out of their outside gear and get ready for the class, or get kids to the diaper changing. So we just kind of set it down and we forget about it. But it really does need to be up, because it does include an emergency first aid kit and some emergency medicine. So we're going to go over a little bit about what goes inside that emergency bag. First off, your classroom binder should be in that emergency bag. Now, I know a lot of people have a binder in the classroom that has the emergency cards for their classroom, and they don't keep it in their backpack. Well, if you have to evacuate the building for like a fire or some other situation, like if there's like some kind of leak and you need to get away, like a gas leak or something, and you don't have the classroom binder with you, then in the event that you can't go back to the building, or for some reason the building is destroyed, we don't have the info cards to call the parents. So that is one reason that the info cards need to be in the classroom binder, and it needs to be in your backpack. So that way, if for some reason we need to leave the building and we can't return to the building, we can contact parents and tell them where we are with their child and that their child is safe and that they can come and get them. Not only should it include the emergency cards for your classroom, it should include an allergy list. So if you're out and you need to give the kids a snack, if it's been a while, if they're getting hungry, especially with the infants, you are making sure that you're following those allergy guidelines, that kids aren't getting things that they can't eat that'll make them sick. Also, you need your daily count. So part of your classroom binder is showing every child that's in that classroom, and they're showing their schedule. So whether they come Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Tuesday, Thursday. So that way, sometimes in an emergency, your brain just kind of sometimes feels like it leaves. So you can pull out that paper and say, okay, it's Wednesday. I'm supposed to have so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so. I'm supposed to have this many kids. Do I have them? And obviously you're going to be counting them as you leave the building anyhow. And you really should know how many kids you have at any time. Like if we ask you how many kids you have, you should be able to tell us. Next, in the backpack, one of the reasons it shouldn't be on the floor or on each of the children's, it should be up high, is if you have EpiPens or inhalers. If any of the kids in your class have an EpiPen or inhaler, that's considered emergency medicine. So those are the medicines that wouldn't be kept in the office. They'd be kept in your emergency backpack in the classroom. So that way, if for some reason they need that medicine, you're not having to go down to the office to get it. It's right there. It's with you. That's also why the backpack not only goes with you if you're going on a fire drill or in case of a real fire, real emergency, but if you're out on the playground. So that way, if there is an emergency on that playground and that child stops breathing or has having an allergic reaction and needs that EpiPen, you have it and you don't have to rush inside and go get it. With that, you need a photocopy of the current medicine form. The original is going to stay in the medicine binder that's in the office, but the current copy is going to be in your classroom binder in that backpack. You're going to need a walking rope, so when you are taking the children outside, they can all hang on to that rope, and you're making sure they're all staying together. Flashlight and extra batteries in case there's a tornado drill or it's a lockdown in place and you're in the bathroom and you've got the lights off. They're not totally in the dark and they're not getting scared. A whistle if you need a call for help, first aid kit. Those first aid kits should contain tweezers, band-aids, gauze, medical tape, medical scissors, gloves. We cannot have any pills in any form in there, and we cannot have any kind of antiseptic or things to like wash or wipe wounds, because we're gonna wash wounds with soap and water only. You should have Kleenex, paper towel, extra diapers, extra wipes, and then items to keep children occupied. So if for some reason, unfortunately, we have to lock down in a bathroom, either to an intruder or an unsafe circumstance, or if there's a tornado and the children are feeling nervous or scared, it's really handy to have in their books, small toys, finger puppets, crayons, papers, a little songbook. You should have bottled water or packaged snacks that aren't going to go bad. Keep an eye on those. And mini bottles of like little hand soap, and that's where we're going to use to clean our hands in case we have to change a diaper or if we need to clean a cut or a wound. And then also some empty grocery bags, and that would be for your garbage, like in case you have to change a diaper or clean a wound. And then an emergency vest, and that's just so that people can kind of see you. Now, what else in the room besides that emergency bag? Every room needs to have plans hanging up, and it's all like in a little packet, and one's for serious accident or illness. So that's I guess in case people stop breathing and to do CPR, in case there's a big head wound, just any kind of serious accident or illness. There's a fire plan in each room telling you this is what we're going to do in case of emergency. This is where you're going to go. Natural or man-made disasters. Also, there's a tornado plan. Also, each room should have a map for emergency exit. So it's going to show you, here's your route to get out if there's a fire. Here's your route to get to where you need to be if there's a tornado. It will also have a relocation plan and telling you, okay, so I'll give an example. For like at Madison Heights, like we all meet on the far corner of the playground. Well, if the emergency at the building is severe enough that is not far enough from the danger and that's not safe enough, then we go across the street to the gas station. Every center will have that. Now, it's really important, whatever room you're in, when you get into a new room, to go and look at those papers and take a minute real quick to familiarize yourself. Just basically know, like, it's going to be the same for like the serious accident and illness. What you really need to know is which route do you take if there's a fire, and where do you go if there's a tornado. And if you're going to different buildings, you need to know, like, where's my relocation point? Where am I going to go if this first location is not safe enough? Where do I go? So that way we're all on the same page and everyone ends up in the same place. The other thing that's included in that emergency pack is the exact address of the building that you're at. So, I mean, after Rochester Hills opens this next month, we'll have 6 buildings, and sometimes teachers travel between them, and it can get a little befuddled in our brain going, hey, what building am I at? What location am I at? Well, in the case where you need to call an emergency service, right there in the packet, it will tell you the exact address of your building. It will tell them what color your building is. It'll say if it's brick, and it will tell them the nearest crossroads. So if you are in that emergency situation and all of a sudden you're like, it's right there on that paper. It also gives the phone number. So again, that's just the emergency backpack. It should be in your room. It should be taken with you when you go out on the playground. It should be taken with you when you go out on walks. If you're going to a different playground, it should be going with you. When you come inside, it needs to be up out of the reach of children because it has emergency medicine in it. It needs to have that emergency medicine in there with photocopies of the medicine form. And please, 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 anytime you're in a room, if you've never been in that room before, take a minute to look at that emergency pack, familiarize yourself, figure out, okay, where do I go? It's really important to know. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know. You can comment or you can email me at sarah@greengardencdc.com. Have a great night, guys. Bye.